Well, Jason, thanks for joining us. It's Friday afternoon at the end of what everybody I think will agree has been a fairly turbulent week for you, the team, and the whole club.
Yeah, obviously, very disappointing news on Tuesday morning with the departure of Matt, someone who I've become a very, very close friend to, and have enjoyed many sort of great times at Sutton and also away from Sutton. So, that friendship will certainly continue. But yeah, from a club's perspective, very, very disappointing for the staff and the players to hear the news. I think he's given everything to the club, and what Matt's achieved at Sutton United, should never be forgotten. It's unbelievable achievement getting us into the Football League, getting us to Wembley, being so close to the playoffs. And okay, we're going through a tough period at the moment, but certainly no one would have been more determined than Matt to have found a way out of the current situation. And just so disappointed for him that he hasn't got the opportunity to do that.
The position is you've been asked to take over for the time being. How's training been this week in the light of the news? I guess it was difficult earlier in the week, but presumably it's got better as the week's gone on.
Yeah, it was obviously, like I say, very sad day on Tuesday all round. Very solemn atmosphere around the place. Like I say, I've spoken to the board, and they've asked me to continue to take the team this weekend. So we've worked hard on the training ground for Wednesday and today with regards to perking up the atmosphere. Getting the spirits up, working hard on things ready for the weekend, to put in a much better performance, hopefully, than we did the previous weekend. But yeah, as always, it's extremely tough for maybe more than others, but certainly a big chunk of the people at the training ground have been extremely upset, and it's been picking them up and going towards the weekend. So that we're in much better spirits, and in typical footballer fashion, you have to bounce back from things, and we've had a good reaction on the training ground, and hopefully we can take that into tomorrow's game.
Well, I guess from the players' point of view, professional pride as much as anything. After last Saturday, they'll feel it's important to come back with a performance that shows a little bit more of what they're about, rather than the game at Stockport last Saturday. Absolutely,
there was a lot of hurt in that change room and on the bus on the way home, and both staff and players. It's a humiliating day, a very embarrassing performance. Something that we've looked into and have discussed in sort of making sure that we're in a better place than we were last week. And like I say, we're looking to go into the game with a different outlook on it, and hopefully we can give the supporters something to be proud of, because they certainly wouldn't have been last week.
I mean, have you managed to sort of drill down into it a little bit and found out any reason for what happened last Saturday? Because it was one that came from absolutely nowhere, because going into the game we were the side in the slightly better form.
Yeah, I think we're all sort of a bit in sort of shell shocked, if you like, Tony, as to how exactly a result like that came. Not just losing away at Stockport, because I don't think there's any shame in losing away at Stockport, who are top of the league with the budget they've got and the form they're in. But certainly, that type of performance where the goals were going in as they were, it's totally unlike us, but just something that hopefully we'll never repeat again. But all you can do is dust yourselves down. You can look into things that you want to improve, which we have this week, and like I say, hopefully we're in a better place than we were last week.
And it must be watching from the sideline. It must be one of those sort of almost like watching an out of control car when the sort of game starts like that. Is there a point at which you feel what's happening here?
4-0 after 25 minutes is probably the bit, and then you're just praying for hope, for half time, and hoping that you can stem the flow, really. But the clock was going extremely slow last week, I'm not going to lie. But we've part that. We move on. There's nothing we can do about that. All we can do is show a reaction for this week, and I'm confident that the players are determined to put on a better performance tomorrow. We're back at home in front of our own supporters. I urge everyone who's supporters of Sutton United to get behind the team tomorrow. Forget last weekend. They need you tomorrow. So hopefully they'll come out in their numbers, support the team, and cheer us on to a good performance.
From what you're saying, the reaction from the players to that result, and also to Matt News on Tuesday, has been what you would expect it to be and what you would want it to be.
Yeah, like I say, the initial aftermath of the game was very low, and people feeling sorry for themselves on the back of the result. Like I say, that once Matt, it was announced that Matt had gone, then there was obviously a disappointment, big disappointment there. And it's been mine and the staff's job this week to pick them up and point them in the right direction, ready for Saturday. But this happens in football, unfortunately. It won't be the first time that some of these players have had that happen. So it's all about the reaction to it now and bouncing back, as they like to say. But I'm positive they're in a stronger mindset than they would have been earlier in the week. And I'm confident that the performance will be a much better one.
Now, one thing you've inherited, if that's the right word, from the over the last week is the injury situation, which wasn't great going into Stockport. How have things gone in the last week? We saw Omar come on and then go off, start and then go off again.
Yeah, not really much improvement on the injury front, if I'm honest. If anything, slightly worse. So, but we have to dust ourselves down, like I say, from last week, and we have to look at the players that are available. There's certainly a team there that's capable of winning tomorrow, and that's what we're looking to do with the players that are available. And like I say, we've put some good work in the training sessions that we've had, and we'll see where that takes us. But there's there's certainly 3 or 4 not available that we'd like available right now, but can't do anything about that, unfortunately.
Just talking about what may have been a sort of slightly brighter thing on the injury front from last week, we got 45 minutes out of Sam Hart and 45 minutes out of Rob Milson. They both now back in full swing.
Yeah, they've trained fully this week, and hopefully we'll be looking to get more minutes into them over the next sort of 3 or 4 games as we go forward. But hopefully both of them are now back fit, and we can keep them fit.
Excellent. Rob Milson making his 200th appearance for the club tomorrow. If he's involved, it'll be his 200th appearance. So that's good news on the injury front. Just touch about the opposition. Difficult one last week away to Stockport, and a side that's only lost once in the league this season. Although we've got a good record against them coming to us tomorrow.
Yeah, previously we've got some very good results against Mansfield. Counts for nothing tomorrow. It's a different game and a different season, but we've had some good results against them. I know Nigel well from previous years of my teams playing against his team. So he's a very, very experienced manager. Knows exactly what this level's about. Knows exactly what it takes to win games at this level, and it's no surprise to me that Mansfield are one of the top teams in the division right now. They've been together now for a period of time. They play attractive football that creates chances, and we'll have to be at our best tomorrow to make sure that they don't hurt us in that kind of manner. But like you say, we've had good results against Mansfield in the past, and hopefully we can continue that.
And this is a busy time of year. Four games coming up in 8 days, two at home and 2 away. Everybody had a good time at Christmas. But busy one for the footballers. What's the plan? How do they? What's the plan over Christmas? Do you give them time to enjoy the break, or is it with another game?
Yeah, I mean our schedule's already been mapped out, so I won't be changing that. They'll obviously play the game tomorrow. We'll be back in on Sunday morning to see where the bodies are at and any knocks, niggles, any planning for the Wimbledon. They'll get Christmas Day off to spend with their families. Myself and Matt have always thought that's the best thing for footballers, to be with their families on Christmas Day. We'll then play, obviously, the game Boxing Day. They'll have a day off after that, but they'll be back in for training, ready then for the Gillingham game. Rest is as important at this stage as training. So we'll look at the bodies and making sure that they're as fresh as they can be to go and put on their best performance in each game that we play. But the focus right now is obviously on tomorrow, and we'll see what the rest of the week looks like on the back of it, really.
I was just going to say that the mantra of one game at a time is a familiar one. Obviously, concentrating on Mansfield, but when the 2 days between 2 games at Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, does that make it a little bit more difficult and sort of make you want to do a little bit more preparation for Wimbledon before you normally would?
Yeah, I mean, the short turnaround is tough for everyone, isn't it? Like you say, you don't get a lot of time to watch opposition or study them as you would normally if you had a free week. But we've got things in place to make sure that we're getting the information that we need on each team, and then we're obviously trying to relay that to the players in the appropriate manner, depending on sort of where the game is. And for example, Gillingham's an evening game, so we maybe have a bit more time during the day to prepare for that. Whereas, Wimbledon's a 3 o'clock kickoff, and it's not quite as easy. But thankfully both are quite local, so we're not travelling, which is good. Everybody else is going to go through the same thing. So we do our best to be as best prepared as possible to go and win games.
And you touched on it earlier, but I think at this stage, given what's gone on in the past week, really important the crowd get behind us tomorrow, and decent atmosphere at the VBS set us up for a good Christmas period. But really important the players get the crowd get behind the players.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier, the season has been what it's been so far. Obviously, we are in need of a victory to a point, wherever we can get tomorrow at Mansfield. But I think our crowd can play a big part. Over the time that myself and Matt have been there, the home form has been particularly good, and people don't enjoy coming to play us at home, and we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to keep that vibe about Sutton United. And that starts with the crowd being there as well, and really helping the players to get behind the team, and really help support them in giving the best that they can.
Well, Jason, we appreciate you talking to us today at the end of what's been a really difficult week. We wish you well tomorrow, and for however long it goes on after tomorrow, and we'll catch up with you after the game. Thanks very much for talking to us.
Okay. Cheers, Tony. Thank you.